Welcome out again, everyone. Sports Talk Mania. I'm your host, Lee Haygood. I'll be here with you from the hours of 6 to 7 p.m. this afternoon. We're here with you each and every Monday from the hours of 6 to 7 p.m. If you'd like, you can give us a call. Phone lines are always open during our show, ladies and gentlemen, at 931-629-1824. Man, a lot of football to talk about. Had our playoffs going on, our divisional playoffs going on this past weekend, and a lot of people a little upset with what's going on. I think it's more of a Tom Brady won again kind of thing, but either way, I'm going to disagree with some of that, and a lot of people already, even though the Seahawks won the Super Bowl just last year and becoming a dominant power in the NFL, they are actually back in again this year to try to reclaim what's going on as far as football is concerned, coming out champions in the NFC. Again, if you haven't watched football this weekend, you got the Seattle Seahawks taking one over the Green Bay Packers. A real close one, actually went into overtime, and the Seahawks scored a touchdown. They had the ball first in overtime, scored the touchdown in overtime to make it back to the Super Bowl another year. In the AFC game, we had, again, a lot of people a little upset because Tom Brady has made it back in to the championship ball game or the Super Bowl one more year. I, for one, not a big Brady fan. Have to respect a guy for what he can do on the football field, though, and that offense, I haven't seen anybody stop that offense as of yet. I want to thank our sponsors. I want to thank Loretto Insurance Services here in Loretto, Tennessee. Also Southern Craft Manufacturing in Loretto, Tennessee as well. And the Tennessee National Raceway up in Hohenwald, Tennessee. I want to thank all of our sponsors for allowing us to come and get on the air and tell you guys and talk to you about sports, give you our opinions of what's going on, and all that good stuff. Again, proud to have you on this afternoon, Monday, January the 19th, 2015. And ladies and gentlemen, again, I enjoy being here. Going to get one of our commercials in when we come back. Again, phone lines are open at 931-629-1824. Be glad to get a call from you. Talk to you about sports this afternoon. When we come back, we'll be talking a little bit of NFL football and the playoffs and looking forward to the Super Bowl. We'll be back after a word from our great sponsors.
Your number one Mustang fans, Auto Owners Insurance and Loretto Insurance Services, a winning combination. We'll work with you to insure your home, auto, business, and life to keep everything you value safe, sound, secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Call Loretto Insurance Services in Loretto today, 931-853-7126.
At Southern Craft Manufacturing, our commitment to choice sets us apart. Using both old-world craftsmanship and modern techniques, we proudly provide the finest quality and greatest value caskets in the industry. Founder Rodney Robinson is a third-generation casket manufacturer, providing the highest quality finished product. Call toll-free 800-413-1778, Southern Craft Manufacturing on North Main Street in Loretto, Tennessee.
The Tennessee National Raceway, where dirt track racing is at its best. That's the Tennessee National Raceway, 316 Racetrack Road, Hohenwald, Tennessee. Come out each and every Saturday night during racing season, ladies and gentlemen, and see some of the best dirt track racing anywhere around this area. That's the Tennessee National Raceway, 316 Racetrack Road, Hohenwald, Tennessee. Welcome back again, everyone. This is Sports Talk Mania. Again, I'm your host, Lee Haygood, sitting in here with you until 7 p.m. Central Standard Time this Monday afternoon. Again, we're here with you each and every Monday from the hours of 6 to 7 p.m. to talk either Loretta Mustang sports or Tennessee sports, or how about the United States sports? We even get off into some soccer, which I don't know a whole lot about, but still, we love to talk sports here on Sports Talk Mania. Getting into some weekend ball games. Luckily enough, I was able to listen to one of the games, seen the actual end of it, the overtime game I'm talking about, between the Green Bay Packers and the Seattle Seahawks. And the Packers, let's talk about this one first. Packers started out on fire. It was like they were causing turnovers. Not sure if it was just sloppy play by Seattle Seahawks or if it was just a one of those defensive stands by the Packers. Either way, they started out on fire, causing a lot of turnovers for Seattle. And Green Bay, unfortunately, gets it down inside the 5. They actually had it, I think, first and goal from the 1 the first time. Never could get it in the end zone. Elected to kick a field goal to get points on the board, making it 3-0. Another turnover. They get down inside the 5 again and have to kick another field goal. So, you know, those things there come back to bite you and come back to haunt you, and sure enough, they did. As the Seahawks come back, of course, Green Bay added to it. I think it was 12 or 13-0, I think, going in, and then it become like 19-0 or something of that nature. Either way, the Seattle Seahawks come back second half, started putting some points on the board, and then tied it up with a 2-point conversion. And then they went down the field, scored another touchdown, or actually they scored a touchdown and 2-point conversion to actually go up by 3 points over the Packers. Then the Packers come back down the field, or try to come back, or was going to, but an onside kick before that, which allowed the Seahawks to come back and score the game-winning, or actually the game-winning touchdown, or tying touchdown, I should say. When they come back and got that and scored it, got the 2-point conversion to tie the score up, the Packers could not do anything after that. Go into overtime, and Seattle takes the ball straight down the field, scores the touchdown. It was like the Packers played the first maybe 3 quarters of the game, and then just pretty much run out of steam, or the Seahawks just got that good. A great team in the Seattle Seahawks. Not going to take anything away from them. Again, they started off real bad yesterday in the NFC Championship game. And again, Seattle Seahawks, congratulations, going on to take on the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl 2 weeks from yesterday. So looking forward to a Super Bowl coming up. Now we're going to talk just a little bit about the Indianapolis Colts against the New England Patriots to complete our Super Bowl, the 2 teams that will be competing in Super Bowl. Coming up, again, 2 weeks from yesterday. Big day, Super Bowl Sunday, always big day. I'm sure they'll air it somewhere around 11 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning. Of course, it's going to be talked about on all your sports stations just about the whole time. So looking forward to that again, kind of getting it all worked up at this time. And talking about that, let's talk about the New England Patriots and the Indianapolis Colts game. My personal opinion, New England they're a good team, okay? They're coached by Bill Belichick. I think, if not the best, one of the best coaches in the NFL. And, of course, everyone's got their opinion. And personally, I do not like the New England Patriots. I will not pull for the New England. Now, I did back in the years following 9/11, you know, when they had their first trip to the Super Bowl and they won that year. You know, I was rooting for them just because, Patriots, red, white, and blue. And, you pretty much had to pull for them, especially anybody from up in that area of the United States. So I was definitely behind them then, but then I got tired of them, so to speak. Like most people do in sports, they get tired of seeing the same team win over and over and over. Now, let's break this game down just a little bit. The Indianapolis Colts, first and foremost, a good enough team to make it to the AFC Championship game. Okay. You've got, I'm going to say, the best young quarterback in the game in Andrew Luck. Whether you like him or dislike him, that's neither here nor there. But you can't take away his ability and the things he can do on the football field by making plays. And he's done it all year. Had he not done that all year, they wouldn't be in the championship game. So what gets me about all this is the Indianapolis Colts did not even look like they needed to be on the field with the New England Patriots. They looked like they were back at week 1 or week 2 of the NFL season, where you just didn't have anything together. The coaches had not, to me, the coaches did not prepare a good game plan, because you've seen what the New England Patriots, they had problems the week before winning that ball game to advance to the championship. They finally pulled it out at the end of that game to even move on to play the Indianapolis Colts. But they done it by these little quick passes. And if I ain't mistaken, I believe it was the Baltimore Ravens they was playing the week before. And they done it with these little short passes that the Ravens just could not stop. And that allowed the Patriots to come back in that game. They were playing from behind the whole ball game against the Ravens. Not yesterday. They started off the first drive. The Colts get the ball first, and they're 3 and out, if I ain't mistaken. Following that, the Patriots carried it straight down the field, scored a touchdown. Come back, Colts couldn't do anything again. Patriots straight down the field, scored a touchdown. So with that being said, it's all this talk about, again, Tennessee's own Peyton Manning played for the Colts all those years. And the biggest gripe against them was no defense. Even though Peyton was, putting up 30, 40 points a ball game, the other team was putting up, a point or two more when they did beat the Colts. Now that comes down to one thing. And I particularly believe that yesterday's game was just a simple fact of Pagano got completely outcoached. I think that his team did not come in prepared. Had they come in prepared, there is no way Tom Brady could have hit all those little short passes. And with nobody even guarding the people. I mean, they were catching the ball yesterday on these short passes, and nobody was close. They were still gaining yards after the catch. They were gaining 7, 10, 12 yards following the catch. To me, it was just a completely uncoached team. I think that that Belichick just completely outcoached Pagano. I'm beginning to wonder if all the talks about Peyton Manning couldn't play in big games, and true or not true. I think Pagano cannot coach in big games. I don't think he can get his team prepared enough to play in these games. I'm having doubts that Indianapolis will ever probably get further than the championship ball game. And the way they played yesterday against the Patriots, I'm surprised they even made it to the championship ball game. And I don't think there's any Colts fans out there that'll disagree with me on that. And I'm not going to say that I'm a Colts fan, but I've pulled for the Colts. Of course, Peyton Manning played for them for years, and I was always pulling for Peyton, and therefore it got me pulling for the Colts. And I was yesterday in that ball game yesterday. Again, not a true fan by any means of the New England Patriots, nor the Indianapolis Colts. However, that was the team I was pulling for yesterday, was the Indianapolis Colts, and then it was just like they didn't even show up to play the ball game. So that's kind of going over our 2 championship games yesterday. Again, if you'd like to call and discuss that, phone lines are open at 931-629-1824. Be glad to talk to you about championship ball games. Be glad to talk to you about the Super Bowl coming up here in a couple of weeks, 2 weeks from yesterday, as a matter of fact. Be glad to talk to you about Loretto Mustang Sports. If you'd like to call in, talk about that, we can talk about that as well. Again, we want to talk sports here on this Monday afternoon. Monday, everybody's thinking, I don't know about Monday. Also, Martin Luther King Jr. Day today as well. A lot of the post offices and things like that. A lot of government buildings and everything shut down today for the holiday of MLK Jr. Day. And I'm not sure if any of you listen to other sports talk shows. I was listening to one on my way to over here to the studio today, and listening to it, and they was playing some, playback of some people talking years ago. Several good stories on there, and talking about the way their life has changed with the race card being played on both sides. And it's just, if you've never listened to the full speech of Martin Luther King Jr., you need to go listen to that full speech. And again, whether you agree with it or not, in my eyes, I had to respect the speech itself, just because of what was said and possibly the way it's just changed the way we look at things today. So either way, like I say, hope everyone's having a great Martin Luther King Jr. Day today, and hope you want to talk some sports. 931-629-1824. Be glad to get you on. We're going to get a word from one of our sponsors, actually a couple of our sponsors. We'll be back in about 1 minute.
Tailgate checklist. Cooler.
Check.
Chips.
Check.
Hot dogs.
Check.
Mustang gear.
Check.
Insurance.
Check.
This season, protect your team with insurance from Auto Owners Insurance and Loretto Insurance Services. Keep everything you value safe, sound, secure. Call Loretto Insurance Services in Loretto today. 931-853-7126.
The Tennessee National Raceway, where dirt track racing is at its best. That's the Tennessee National Raceway, 316 Racetrack Road, Hohenwald, Tennessee. Come out each and every Saturday night during racing season, ladies and gentlemen, and see some of the best dirt track racing anywhere around this area. That's the Tennessee National Raceway, 316 Racetrack Road, Hohenwald, Tennessee. Welcome back again, everyone, to Sports Talk Mania. Hitting the wrong button here. Finally got the right button pushed. Welcome back again to Sports Talk Mania. Again, I'm your host, Lee Haygood. Be sitting in with you to the 7 o'clock hour. We'll talk anything sports that you would like to talk about. Some of you local folks that's listening and tuned in to us here on MustangsTV.com at Sports Talk Mania. We can talk local Mustang sports if you would like. We can talk any kind of sports out there. Give us a call again. I'm not much on soccer, but hey, if that's what you want to talk about, we can talk about soccer here on Sports Talk Mania. I'm not going to be able to answer a whole lot of questions. The knowledge of soccer is just not there as it is the football, baseball, basketball, and all other major sports. We can even talk hockey on here. We've talked wrestling on here. Heck, ain't much we ain't talked about here on Sports Talk Mania. We've talked about schools and everything else on here. Give us a call. We're going to keep it sports related if we can, but if it's something more important, hey, we'll talk about that as well. Looking forward to talking about some high school football. I know it's real early. Only here mid-January, but I got to talk about a little high school football and some friends we got to the north of us here in Loretto, Tennessee, talking about Summertown, Tennessee, coming out with their first high school football season this coming season, the year 2015. You can mark it on your calendars. First ball game is the Summertown Eagles first game for Summertown anyway. First game for Summertown Eagles going to be the Loretto Mustangs. Yep, that's right. Your own beloved Loretto Mustangs here in Loretto, folks. Summertown going to be playing the Loretto Mustangs for their first ever official high school football game. So looking forward to that. And a new beginning for Summertown football. I know they've had some youth football going on up there for a few years now, and they've even had a middle school. I'm not sure if they called it the middle school or the junior varsity. Not sure which one they called it, but I know they've been playing up there for the last few years to get ready for this upcoming football season. And I tell you, I'm excited for Summertown. I've always said all the years that I've been playing, or all the years that I played football, and then all the years that I've paid close attention to football, I always wondered why Summertown did not have a football team as they really accelerate in basketball up there, and they always accelerated in baseball. Usually win state championships in baseball, state championships in basketball. and just always wondered why they just never did get a football team together. And of course, they say it's just because of how small a school they are and all that. And after watching a few graduations up there where, only 30, 40, 50 kids graduate each year, and that's not saying that they can't graduate more. That's just about their numbers as far as attendance there throughout the year. And when you're only graduating that many, well, you have a small school anyway. So I kind of understood that part of it, but still very excited. I may be one of the most excited people outside of Summertown that there is, just because I love the sport of football, and I love that our county is now going to have 3 football teams that, whether you're from the north end, the south end, or the middle of the county, you can always catch some Friday night high school football. Again, very excited for Summertown. Hope they do well. Of course, we got to pull for our Mustangs in the first game against them, but after that, hoping Summertown can pick up some wins this year in their first official high school football season. Talking to other sports, if you'd like, we talking about the Seattle Seahawks. Sherman actually hurt his arm yesterday, and everybody kept saying, well, how come you're not going at him? And I was one of those somebodies. I kept thinking, okay, if he's hurt, why are you not throwing right in his direction? And I'm talking about the Green Bay Packers. Why were they not throwing at, hit the receiver he was covering? Well, something that I didn't realize, I thought it was a shoulder issue. It was not a shoulder issue. It was an elbow issue, and I don't know if it was a hyperextended elbow. I think they actually come out and said what it was. It might have been a strained elbow. I think they come out and actually said what was happening to it today. And with that being said, though, I'm still wondering, why did you not try at least go at him once or twice just to see how bad he was? I don't know why more coaches don't, exploit some of their, other team's weakness. And I'm not calling Sherman a weakness, because he's one of the best cornerbacks in the game of the NFL football. He's just that good. And it's real hard to not respect him enough to not throw at him. However, when he's favoring an arm, a leg, or just favoring anything, and I've watched enough wrestling to know that I know whether you think wrestling's fake or not, you see them say that somebody's got a bad shoulder or something, what's the first thing they start doing? They start hitting on the elbow or the shoulder, or start going at the problem area of whoever it is. And that's what I was thinking yesterday when I was watching the Seahawks and the Packers. Again, I had to listen to most of it. We got to watch the end of it, and also going on into the overtime part of it. Got to see all that and enjoyed it, but I still was trying to figure out why they were not attempting a pass toward Sherman's area. Again, I think he proclaimed today that it was a strained elbow, and if so, either way, he said he would be playing in the Super Bowl. And after he come back on the field yesterday, I don't even think he missed a play, but the whole time he's on the field, I'm not sure what's wrong with him. Again, I thought it was his shoulder, but then they come and, again, made the announcement today of actually what it was. It still just baffles me that they did not throw his direction and at least try to see what it was. One of the Seahawks, and I apologize, I knew his name, but I can't remember, did dislocate their shoulder yesterday. And I'm just seeing now where it is a sprained elbow for Sherman, but he does expect to play come Super Bowl. And after continuing to play yesterday like he did following the injury, I didn't doubt that one bit, unless the doctors actually just made him stay off. In case you're wondering about the Duke score, Duke playing tonight on the basketball floor against Pittsburgh. At this time, the Duke Blue Devils are leading Pittsburgh by a score of 23-12. Duke rated number 5 in the country on college basketball floor. On the men's side of it, talking about the men's side, we'll talk about the Loretto Mustangs in just a little bit of a slump right now, dropping a couple of games here lately, and a little bit surprised at that. Mustangs was tearing it up. Actually took two games this year, a sweep of Lawrence County High School Wildcats, and looked like a great season going on. Not sure what's happening there at the Loretta Mustangs in their world, but hopefully they can get things turned back around and get back on the winning ways as this year's team, again, doing an excellent job this year. Coach Micah Rochester and the Loretta Mustangs doing a real good job this year. Hopefully it's just what I said it was, a little slump. They can get back on the winning ways coming up Tuesday night, Thursday. I know they play Thursday night and Friday night this coming week. I'm not sure if they play before then, but either way, best of luck to going out to the Loretta Mustangs. The Lady Mustangs, talk a little bit about them. The Loretta Lady Mustangs, I think I made a statement, if not on this show, on another show, that local radio show, that they are coming together now. They are actually, I've been watching this young lady squad all year long. They started out kind of, have good games, have bad games kind of a thing. But I've been watching this team. Those ladies are starting to bond together, come together, and starting to play together. A great team ball. I mean, I'm just seeing every ball game that Mustangs TV covers, which is every one except for Christmas tournaments and things of that, where the boys and the girls are in two different places. I've been noticing that the girls just seem to every week get better and better and better, and I think it's all team play. Watching them on MustangsTV.com, the games that I cannot help Josh McDonald out calling. Been paying attention to those games, and especially been watching who the Mustangs TV crew is picking to be players of the game. And it seems like every ball game that there's a different Lady Mustang taking that honor, and it kind of goes back and forth. About 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, one of the Lady Mustangs took the honor, and I think this past ball game she took the honor again. So it's kind of working around. Everyone seems to be having a good game, and that's what it takes. That's what it takes to win. That's what teamwork takes. And talking about teamwork again, wanting to get into the game yesterday, just didn't see a lot of teamwork on the Indianapolis Colts side of the ball. They might need to watch some of these game films of the Loretta Lady Mustangs because they play team ball. Indianapolis Colts, again, I just feel like got out-coached yesterday. Bill Belichick again, and that's not going to be hard to do because, again, I don't think there's any AFC coaches that's as good as Bill Belichick. Again, I hate to say that, just knowing the fact that I'm not that crazy about Bill Belichick or the New England Patriots. However, I try to be as realistic as I can be, and that's what I see. I just see him being one of the best coaches in the league. So to get out coached by Belichick, that's just one of those, 34 teams, 33 teams in the NFL, I feel like does get out coached by him just because I feel like he's the best coach in the league. And again, I know people's going to have a different opinion than what I have about this, and that's fine. That's what we're here for. We'll discuss it. Again, phone lines are open. You want to give us a call, 931-629-1824. Get another one of our great sponsors in, and matter of fact, when we come back, I'm going to talk about one of our sponsors, just kind of hit on them for just a second, and then we'll take phone calls, 931-629-1824. Give us a call when we come back. We'll be back in about 1 minute.
You are number one Mustang fans, Auto Owners Insurance and Loretto Insurance Services, a winning combination. We'll work with you to insure your home, auto, business, and life to keep everything you value safe, sound, secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Call Loretto Insurance Services in Loretto today, 931-853-7126.
Thanks for calling Sports Talk Mania. I'm your host, Lee Haygood. Who we got on the line?
Hey, this is KJ.
KJ, what's up, my friend?
Oh, not a whole lot. I thought since I couldn't join you in the studio this evening, I'd just call in.
Hey, man, I always enjoy you. Rather have you in the studio with me just to kind of have my back and help me out here on these great Mondays that we have this show. But, man, if you can't join me here in the studio, glad you can join me on the phone.
Oh, I always enjoy joining you there. But, yeah, glad I could be a part of the show here on over the phone at least.
Well, I know you're traveling, doing some traveling today, so Glad to hear you got the vehicle back. I know you've had some problem with it. Glad to know you got that back, and now I know you're on the road, so all's well.
Yeah, everything's starting to come back together, hopefully. So that's good. Man, I tell you what about them Tennessee football getting them recruits in? Old Butch is reeling them in, isn't he?
Man, I'm telling you what, KJ, and it's surprising me. I'm going to be honest with you, even though I am a Tennessee Volunteer fan. It just surprises me that they are doing so good at recruiting. And I was listening, I'm not sure who that is that calls in, but like the Boomo Bug Show on ESPN Radio, they have someone from Tennessee call in on Mondays around lunchtime. And fortunately, I get to listen to it about the time that I'm on lunch, too. And they was calling in today and talking about some of these recruits that's had an opportunity to visit other schools before signing day. And it was surprising me how many of them didn't even go to attend their, visit at these other places because they're ready to come to University of Tennessee.
Yeah, I mean, Butch and staff, just the whole staff, he's just got an awesome staff that recruits hard, and, they're relentless. I know he likes to use that word a lot, relentless. I think that's a good word to describe his staff. They're all over the place, and it seems like they're doing a great job. Butch getting a well-deserved raise, and all of his assistants getting raises, and very well-deserved, in my opinion.
And I'm going to agree with you, KJ, on that. You talk about, everyone talks about sports being, nothing but money now. Nothing but money, nothing but money. And it's right, but the NCAA is run just like a business is ran. So you've got to put the product out there. Now, with that being said, though, guess what? Somebody's making some money at these universities. If not, they wouldn't be able to pay these coaches $5, $6, $7, $8 million like your Sabans are getting paid at the University of Alabama. So
they have these very, very nice stadiums on top of that.
Absolutely. I mean, the money's there, and if you know what, you might as well secure your money, because whether you like Butch Jones or not, and I for one, and I think I know the kind of fan you are, I think you're right there with me on this. I like Butch Jones. I think he's a great coach. I think he's what we needed at the University of Tennessee to get our program back up to where it once was. And we may not ever get to the point that we were at, but hey, just getting competitive again. And I felt like most ball games this season we were actually competitive in.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. It's all about getting us back relevant again, and the staff realizes that that's the first step. But I'm sure they're telling these recruits this because they're sure putting it out there on the Facebooks and the Twitters. They're saying, hey, we want to compete for national championships, and they're saying, we need you, we need you, guys, that, if you want to come to Tennessee, we want to compete for championships. And that is the ultimate goal with this staff. And I'll tell you what, they just seem very committed. And if you hit me up on Facebook or Twitter, you'll see my Facebook and Twitter default profile pictures are of a photo recently made of the whole staff, and they're showing a little swagger about them. I think it's an awesome photo. Putting it out there for everybody to see, and I've heard a lot of comments saying it's one of the best staff photos that they've ever seen. It's right there in the Tennessee locker room, and it's got the power tee on the ceiling, and got the game maxims in the background and over to the side, and it's just a great photo. And it's just reflective of how hard this staff works for the University of Tennessee, in my opinion.
Well, you're absolutely right, KJ. And talking about that, while we're on some college football, what do you think about all the talks about Lane Kiffin leaving the University of Alabama?
I saw that headline yesterday. I was looking through all the headlines, and I saw that Kiffin is the front runner for the was it offensive coordinator job at San Francisco? Was that where it was?
That is correct.
Yeah. So I saw, of course, I've got a lot of Tennessee buddies, and I've got a lot of Alabama buddies, and Facebook yesterday was kind of hilarious because you got the Tennessee, folks going, see here, they're gonna do y'all like he did us, and vote for the NFL, and so that was kind of funny. But still, who knows? I haven't heard him say anything as far as if he's going to take the job or if he's not, or what he's thinking. And really, I know it's really early to have to make any type of decision as well. So that'll be interesting to see if he decides to go to the pro level and be a coordinator, or stick it out at Alabama and just see what happens there. Of course, with me being a Tennessee fan, I'm wanting to vote for the NFL just like he did at Tennessee, and that way, maybe the Alabama fans can experience a little bit of what us Tennessee fans went through that night.
Well, KJ, you've got a good point there, but you know what? I kind of want him at Alabama when Tennessee does, and we still may be a couple of years away, but when Tennessee does get back to being a real good team, I would like for Kiffin to actually be at Alabama just so we could beat him one time. You know what I'm saying? And that's,
I know where you're coming from there.
And that's the only reason I want him to stay at Alabama because, again, being Tennessee fans, it doesn't bother me either way. I know how good Alabama is. I know how good of a recruiter and how good a coach Nick Saban is as well. And, again, I'm always a realistic fan. I know that right now we're probably not good enough to play with the likes of Alabama. However, in a year or two, I think we should be. If not, we could possibly even be, getting close to there by the end of this coming season with the extra month of practice that we were able to have just simply because we did make a bowl game this past season. So with that said, though, I kind of want him to stay there just so that we do have that opportunity to beat him.
Yeah, absolutely. I see what you're saying there, but, I don't know. I guess I'm still a little bitter about that night that he just decided to hold his last-second press conference, and he caught Mike Hamilton, the athletic director at Tennessee, out of town at the time, and Mike was there, to really try to keep him in Tennessee, so to speak. I think they did talk over the phone for just a minute, but by that time, Kiffin had already made up his mind and everything. But Tennessee fans, we keep hearing, be patient. Be patient. It takes time. It's going to take time. And I'm here to tell you, Tennessee fans, we've heard that for many years now after Philip Fulmer resigned. I really think that the right man for the job has the job. I think he's the right person for the position. And, now I didn't feel that way under Dooley. I didn't. I just never got that feeling of, hey, he's building this program back like I do with Bush Jones. But, I know we keep hearing just be patient, hang on, it's coming. I truly feel that way now. I really feel like, anytime now, maybe not next year, but the year after. And I think you might see some surprise wins, this next year from this Tennessee squad as well.
Well, KJ, we actually, talking about Tennessee now, I actually was hitting on the new Summertown football team. We're going to drop down even into high school now. Summertown Eagles going to be putting a football squad on the field this year, and their first game's against who?
Loretta High School.
That's exactly right, KJ. I've brought that up to these Sports Talk Mania fans out here as well. What do you think about that team? Well, just in just looking back, all the years it's been, Lawrence County High School Wildcats, the Loretta Mustangs, and no Summertown football, even though Summertown's always fielded a great basketball squad and a great baseball squad. Winning state championships, going to state championships and all that. Now they got football. What's your thoughts on this?
Well, I tell you what, Lee, I've watched the Summertown program from the time they started up a middle school team. I've watched them play the Loretta Junior High Mustangs each year, and I'll tell you what, each year, they've gotten better and better and better. And, this past year, I mean, the Mustangs were narrowly able to escape with a win from that one. And, I'll tell you, I know that they've got a new coach to get things started at the high school level. They really had a bad run there, going through a couple coaches who were appointed, and then I think one had to resign due to health issues, and first one thing and another. But I think now that they have gotten the man that's going to lead them in Leslie Mott, I really think that they're going to be a good football team. And it's the same thing. They'll get a little bit better each year in the high school level, and I think when it's all said and done, they'll be right there at the top of their region. I fully expect them to be.
And I agree with you. I think they're going to do pretty good for their first year. And again, my wishes was that they wouldn't start off winning against the Mustangs, and we'll take that one from them. But then they can win the other 9.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're having to play at Lawrence County High School while their field is. I don't know if they're actually going to be able to prepare a field for use in the future. Hopefully, the new schools will work out, and Summertown and Loretto will get new high schools and new football fields, and I know that will be a very welcome addition to the Summertown community, getting a new football field up there. But I think right now this is good. Basically it guarantees that there's going to be football in Lawrence County every week during the high school football season. If Lawrence County's not playing at home, then Summertown will be there, and of course you got the Mustangs will be playing at LM Forsyth Field. So there's going to be football every week in the county, and no reason at all to not come out and support these fine schools.
And luckily picking up some partnership, so to speak, this year in Exports Live, and being, if they can't catch it on Mustangs TV, talking about the Mustang games, they can catch the Mustangs on Exports.
No, there's no doubt about it. Great partnership between Mustangs TV and the Exports Radio Network. It's been a great relationship, and I can only see it growing further in the years to come. And so, like you said, Lee, if you can't make it out for some reason, if you've got kin folks that don't live in the area, by all means, have them to tune in. Exports is online, Mustangs TV is online, so every opportunity to support these fine young men.
Absolutely. KJ we was talking about young men. I know you're on the road, so I'm gonna get you off here pretty soon. But with that being said, what do you think about the playoff games yesterday in the NFL?
The one that shocked me the most was the Patriots and the Colts. I did not expect it to be as lopsided as it was. The Patriots just pretty much run away with it. I don't think it was ever an issue. And of course, now today, first thing this morning, you turn it on Sports Center and you hear that the NFL is investigating the Patriots for deflated balls. Which it's like a reporter on ESPN said, those game balls are checked by the officiating crew a couple hours before kickoff every single game. And, plus an official touches the ball before every snap. And so, I don't see how that claim could really go anywhere. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm by no means a New England Patriot fan, but, it just seems that claim just isn't going to go anywhere.
Well, based on what you're saying, the one thing is every time the Patriots are winning, there's something against them. You know, whether you like the Patriots or you don't like the Patriots, every time something happens, it seems like they're bending the rules a little bit. There's an accusation toward them bending the rules a little bit, and even if they're found out to be using deflated balls, the penalty for that is all it is they'll lose a draft choice in the upcoming NFL draft. So to me, it's not a big thing. But you know what? If it would have been a 1 or 2 point game, KJ, I can see that being an issue, but we're talking a 38-point ball game. And
Right.
I've shared with my fans here on Sports Talk Mania that I think Pagano just absolutely got out-coached by Belichick yesterday. That's my honest opinion.
Oh yeah, you know when they asked Tom Brady about his thoughts on the Colts, you know, saying that the Patriots were using deflated game balls, and I think his response was just continuously laughing. You know, I don't even think he said a word as far as that goes. He just laughed. Yeah, I'm like you. You know, if it was a 1 or 2 point game, I mean, you know, yeah, maybe, but it wasn't even close. You know, wasn't even close. And then you also had the Seattle Seahawks, you know, upsetting the Green Bay Packers. I did watch some of that. I was able to. And, you know, I'll be honest, there was a stretch there where the Packers were up 16-0, and, you know, it didn't seem like Seattle could really get anything going. And I thought, you know, this is going to be a long game for Seattle. You know, I don't see how they're going to be able to pull this one off. But then, you know, it's kind of like everything just collapsed for Green Bay, and then before you know it, you know, Seattle ties it up, and then before you know it, we're going to overtime, and then, you know, with the NFL's overtime rule, you know, sudden death. I mean, you know, you get the ball, all you have to do is score.
Well, my personal opinion about the coach, KJ, is they're going to have to get a better coach. I just don't think Pagano. I've got nothing against the man. He may be a great person. I don't know the coach well enough anymore that Peyton Manning doesn't play for him. I don't know him well enough to actually sit here, but I do watch a lot of football, and I do watch the coach, and I just feel like they're out-coached just about every game, but they've got enough talent that the talent's actually winning the ball games.
Yeah, and you know, who was that guy that coached for the Colts for the longest there?
Tony Dungy? Tony Dungy? Yep.
Don't you wish that that they're wishing they had Tony Dungy back? Yeah, I mean, just two totally different styles of coaching, it seems.
I agree with that. It made me wonder yesterday, and I've never been a true Pagano fan. I'm not sure that's what Indianapolis needs. But yesterday, the coach weren't even ready to play. I mean, you know, they've got to be prepared to go into a championship ball game, and I felt like they were unprepared.
Yeah, they may have been. I didn't get to see the game. I saw the score summary and everything like that, and yeah, I mean, just based on what I saw there, it did appear that the coach just wasn't ready. You know, wasn't ready at all.
And that all falls back on the head coach, in my opinion. KJ, again, glad you joined us today. I know you're on the road, so I'm gonna let you go, and hopefully you get where you're going safely. And look forward. What is it? Mustangs TV going to be following the Mustangs and Lady Mustangs Thursday night, or is there a game before Thursday night?
Well, we play tomorrow night against Frank Hughes at the barn, so everybody come out and, you know, support the Lady Mustangs and Mustangs. If you're from the Loretto area, if you're not from the Loretto area, by all means support your favorite sports team because you know, they need encouragement. So look forward to being at the barn tomorrow night.
And if I can get there, KJ, in time from work, I may join you guys, whether you need my help up there or not.
Oh, you got it. Hey, how about those Mustangs? Lady Mustangs showing a lot of improvement this year. Mustangs at 5-1 in the district play, currently in the lead, and in District 12A play. Had a few close games and had a tough loss to Collinwood the other night, but Mustangs still with a pretty good lead in the standings in District 12A. So that'll be an exciting one to see how it turns out. And I think the Lady Mustangs may be in third or tied for third in District 12A as well. So lots of basketball to be played. It's just an exciting time.
Absolutely, and I kind of hit on that a little bit before you called, talking, excuse me, about the Mustangs and the Lady Mustangs. And one of the things that's got me, KJ, and I truly believe this, and I'm not just saying this because you and I are Mustang and Lady Mustang fans. To me, the Lady Mustangs under new head coach Rutledge come out a little flat at the beginning of the season. And when I say that, I mean that in a way that maybe Coach Rutledge had a different coaching style than what our Lady Mustangs had been accustomed to with the previous coach. And it seems to me like now that they've figured their coach out and they figured each other out, because a couple or three players have come back and joined the team now that Coach Rutledge has taken over the leadership of the team. And it seems like that maybe it was just a time thing. The ladies that haven't been playing with the other ones took them a while to maybe come together and gel. But I'm going to tell you what, the last couple of ball games, again, I haven't been able to attend, but I've paid attention to it and kept up with it on Mustangs TV. The last couple of games, I'm seeing a vast improvement in our Lady Mustangs as far as teamwork.
No, there's no doubt about it. Anytime you have a coaching change, it takes time for everything to gel, and there's no workaround for that. Anytime you have a new coach, there's going to be things that need to be addressed and worked out, and it just takes some time. And like you said, I think we're starting to really see what these Lady Mustangs can do here.
And they're looking good, and the Mustangs looking good as well. Like you said, a 5-1 record in the district. So Mustangs and Lady Mustangs, hey, they may be shining. Both of them may start shining here at the right time, coming, getting pretty close to playoff time or postseason time.
Oh, no doubt about it. I'm looking forward to both teams having deep tournament runs. I'm very excited about it.
It sounds like it. KJ, again, tomorrow night on Mustangs TV, you can catch all the action. If you're in the Low-Red area, please get out to the barn and support your Lady Mustangs and your Mustangs. And if not, like KJ said, catch all the action on MustangsTV.com. KJ, have a safe trip, man. We'll be talking to you possibly tomorrow night.
All right. Thank you, Lee.
That was Kyle Johnson with us here on Sports Talk Mania. If you'd like to get a call in, we've still got probably 4 or 5 minutes remaining in today's show. We'll go off there somewhere around the 7 p.m. time frame, Central Standard Time, of course. If you'd like to, you can give us a call. Phone lines are open, 931-629-1824. Or, as always, if you're a little bashful and shy and don't want to talk live online, you can email us at sportstalk@MustangsTV.com. We'll try to check that mailbag like we always do to see what's going on the Sports Talk @MustangsTV.com email. Duke at halftime now. If you're a big Duke basketball fan, I think it's 45-21, I believe, is the score at halftime. Duke Blue Devils, as usual, taking care of business on the floor. So that's what's going on the basketball floor. A lot of college basketball action going on this evening. You can catch it online and on TV as well. The days of technology are here, so you can check it out. Again, don't forget, tomorrow night, support your Mustangs and Lady Mustangs. Loretto fans, if you can, get out to the barn to back your Lady Mustangs and Mustangs. And for those of you, and we know we've got several listeners that listen to Sports Talk Mania as well, and join us. Thank you for joining us, first and foremost. But, you can definitely catch the action tomorrow night as well, those that live off. Got people out in California that tune in to us. Got people all over the world that actually tune in to us here on MustangsTV.com. And several listeners, Sports Talk Mania. Be glad when you guys quit being so shy, though, and you get online with us here and talk to us at 931-629-1824. Still a couple of minutes remaining in the show. Be glad to get you called. We'll talk professional football, wrestling, baseball, hockey, softball. It don't matter. Give us a call. Basketball. We'll talk it here on Sports Talk Mania. Again, the main reason we're here with you on Mondays, hey, Monday's the first day of the work week. Everybody getting back in the flow of things for the work week, and we're just trying to give a little easement of taking a little stress off of work. Talk about a little bit of sports here on Monday evenings, and that's the reason we do it on Mondays. We enjoy doing it on Mondays. We enjoy all of our fans, and we definitely thank all of our sponsors, Loretta Insurance Services, Southern Craft Manufacturing, Tennessee National Raceway. Also, Tennessee National Raceway got awards banquet coming up Saturday over in Hornwall, Tennessee. I'll be hosting that as well this Saturday. I think it begins at noon, and I apologize, I done forgot the actual place that we're actually doing the awards at, but you can get online at Tennessee National Raceway. That's racetn.com is their website. You get on racetn.com and you can check out exactly where the award ceremony is going to be Saturday. I think we start at noon. We'll be giving out all those 2014 Tennessee National Raceway Awards, all the champions in each division of racing, and talking about what's coming up in 2015 for the racing season. So looking forward to that. Again, that's coming up this Saturday at noon at Hornwall, Tennessee. So looking forward to racing season. Racing season coming up. Daytona's only 34 days away. I think my countdown is on. I'm going to have to get my countdown started actually on my computer here in the studio to give you an update each and every Monday afternoon, because that's where you can catch Sports Talk Mania every Monday afternoon, 6 to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. For those of you that's tuned in to us today, we want to thank you again for tuning in. I wouldn't get on here and talk if I didn't have people that was actually listening to me and tuned in to me, so I appreciate that. And I couldn't do it at all if I didn't have the help from our sponsors. I want to thank all of our sponsors as usual. Look forward to talking to you next Monday. Tune in, join us on MustangsTV.com. Just click on Sports Talk Mania when you get there. You can join us next Monday from the hours of 6 to 7 p.m. Everyone have a great week. Look forward to talking to you next Monday. We'll talk sports again, even though got no football coming on between now and the Super Bowl. Well, got the Pro Bowl, but who talks about that? I'm sure we will. On Sports Talk Mania next week. Tune in then, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again for tuning in to us today. Thanks to our sponsors. Everyone have a great and safe work week, and Godspeed.